We live in times when faith and spirituality have become very inflammable.
Don't put them in the same basket.
Okay, let's talk about faith first. We live in times when faith, for certain, has become a very inflammable, easily politicized conversation. If faith should have been personal today, it's not. Today you actually have decisions taken in the name of somebody's faith being injured. So, you mentioned food right now. I read somewhere that you said there's nothing religious about the act of food, just eat what you like.
No, I
Eat
didn't
what's
say that.
good for you?
I said eat what's good for you.
Okay, eat what's good for you.
It's a very different thing.
Okay, I correct myself. Eat what's good for you. But today we have a highly politicized conversation around banning beef in the name of faith.
It's definitely not good for you to eat it.
Beef or any meat?
I'll come to that. Finish.
Okay, so I'm offering that as one example of how I see a politicized conversation taking place around faith. How do you reconcile the faith of a large number of people with questions of individual liberty? I know I have read that you like books written by Salman Rushdie. We were the first country to ban him, again in the name of faith. How do we reconcile faith with individual liberty?
See, it's always been said, faith moves mountains. Yes, but it freezes your mind. But the greatest crime you can do on this planet is to move a mountain. You should not move a mountain, it should be where it is. It is not just dropped from somewhere, it's grown because of various forces functioning in a particular way. Phenomenal activity has happened to build a mountain. You should never move a mountain. But people with frozen minds always want to move a mountain. Okay, having said that, when we say faith, it's an import for this culture. We have never had faith in this culture. You must look back little beyond 1,000 years since we've been under occupation. Here we have been told always, your life is your karma. Karma means action. Whose action? Your action. So, what we are saying is, your life is entirely your making. There is no someone sitting up there and managing this for you. This is entirely yours. But for every action that you perform, whether physical, mental, emotional, energy-wise, whatever kind of action you perform, there is bound to be a consequence. If you're ready for the consequence, do whatever. If you're going to cry about the consequence, control the action, right? Based on this, now you came to food. See, the food consumption has been looked at very carefully in this country. If you just bring this back, the world will be healthy, do you understand? Here we have identified different type of people, what they should eat. If you're doing menial jobs, how you should eat. If you're doing trading, how you should eat. If you're into spiritual process, how you should eat. If you're into education, how you should eat. Why this is each person needs a different type of building of the body. You want to run 100 meters next to Mr. Bolt, what kind of food you should eat? You just want to work in Delhi, what kind of food you should eat? You want to think in a certain way, what kind of food you should eat? For all these, we have very clear prescriptions. Now, when it comes to food, what it means is, we are taking another life, whatever that is, it may be plant life, animal life, whatever. You're taking another life, ingesting it, and you have to make it your life. That's the whole thing. What is your life, what is that life, if you look at it? All life on this planet is coming from the earth. This body is also the same soil, this is also same soil. If there is a earthworm, that is also same soil. But see how it has become, how this has become, how that has become. If I give you… you like a mango or a banana?
Mango.
Yeah, I know. You're ruling the state right now. Now, if you eat a mango, this mango becomes a woman in you. If I eat a mango, the same mango becomes a man in me. If a cow eats a mango, the same mango becomes a cow in the cow. Why is this happening? There is a certain information or software in you. Whatever you eat, it transforms it into a woman. If I eat, it transforms it into a man. If a cow eats, that becomes a cow. So, every life is happening the way it is happening because of a certain dimension of information, or in modern terminology, let's call it software. There is a certain software, which is an arrangement of information. Now, the idea is to eat as simple a software as possible. If you eat that kind of life, which is a very simple software, your ability to override that software and make it entirely a part of you is very good. As that software gets complex, more and more complex, your ability to integrate it goes down. So especially if it's a creature which has some sense of thought and emotion, if it has emotion, then you should not eat it. This is the understanding. An animal which has any emotion displays certain emotions, especially if it displays emotion which is near to human emotion, you should not eat it because it will not integrate itself, that animal nature will start manifesting itself. Or in other words, in India, today maybe in cities people do not know, you see in the villages, people have very intimate relationship with the cow. They have drunk the milk of that cow, their children are drinking the milk of that cow. There is a very deep relationship. If you do not know this, cow is one creature. If something happens to you and you are in some kind of grief or misery, you don't have to be near the cow. Wherever the cow is in your house, it'll start shedding tears for you. You know, I've seen this with my eyes, I couldn't believe. When somebody is dead in the house, what does the cow know? It is somewhere, simply tears flowing. So when it has such deep emotions, if you kill it, it's like killing a human being, it's murder or it's cannibalism. So because of that, this is not a faith thing, this is not a religious thing. We thought this is a fundamental sense. Why, when we are hungry, why can't I cut you up and eat you? What's wrong? What's wrong?
But what you're saying should be about many more animals than just the cow.
Yes, of course.
And when it becomes about only the cow, then there is certainly a perception that it is a political decision or a religious decision.
No, I'm not talking about the laws.
This is not about people getting up and saying it's cruel to be a meat eater. That would be a different argument.
I'm not even talking about cruelty, even cutting a plant is cruel, in my experience. But you have to do it. But if you're conscious of it, you will do it to the minimum possible extent, not do it wantonly. That's the whole thing. Now about this political ban about cow slaughter or whatever, this has many things. One thing is there is a sensitivity. Once you drink milk from the cow, she's like your mother. Killing your mother and eating her up is something people cannot digest in this country. Still 80% of the people belong to that category and they're hugely… there's a huge emotion, such an emotion which because they've always been made to be docile in a certain way, they have not violently reacted to it. But in some places, it has happened in villages and other places. There is already a beef ban in many villages just by a norm, not by any law, that you don't bring these kind of things into the village. I am not saying you must ban it or not ban it, I am saying the sensitivities of your population, without considering, you can't go do this blatantly. Because it is growing, it's becoming a growing business, India is becoming a major exporter of beef. That's not right. Even if somebody ate something, it is up to them, it's their personal taste, whatever. But now you're promoting it and you're making it grow, there is serious concern, but our people don't express it. Our people don't go out on the street and not going to kill anybody because they killed a cow. So, ban is not what is needed, more education was needed rather than banning.
But you haven't spoken to what happens when faith repeatedly seems to come into conflict with individual liberty. The banning of books. There were people killed in Paris because they were seen to have mocked, the Prophet Muhammad and so on. So where does this end? Where do we stop violence and politics in the name of religion?
If you want that to stop, you must understand this. You're saying today, it's not today. In the last 2000 years, this is the history of the world. Continuously it's happening all over the world.
Suicide bombers are a new phenomenon.
Well, you've forgotten about the crusades and the other things which have not been reported in history. Hundreds of millions of people have been killed in the name of God, all right? It's new to us here, but even here, thousands, hundreds and thousands have been slaughtered in northern part of India just because of the faith that they belong to when the invasions happened. Nobody writes about it because we never took the pen and wrote. Somebody wrote history for us the way they like it. Because all history is sponsored by kings. They wrote the history the way they want and they said they're great emperors. But what they did was absolutely terrible. So you need to understand, faith is a new thing to us. When I say new, in this country which has 15,000 years of history behind us, 1,000 years is new for us. We've still not come to terms with it, we're still struggling with it. But struggling within ourselves, not creating a struggle on the street, because that's not our nature, because here always we've been drilled into us, whatever you do, there'll be a consequence for you. Even if you come back another life, it won't leave you, it'll come back to you. This has been told, this controls people, this is a tremendous technology, please understand this. And it's not simply a fake thing, it is a real thing. Everything that you think, feel, act, there is a consequence. Not because there is somebody thinking he must give you a reward or a punishment. It happens in your own chemistry.
Sadhguru, in respect of the importance of breathing.
Oh, you must breathe, believe me. What can I say? If you turn on your TV, there is Zumba and there is insanity. Yes, it is insanity, I can understand. You know this thing, what I'm talking about? These are all exercise systems today, going crazy, viral on the televisions and other places. In the yogic system, we found out in what state of breathing the cellular rejuvenation happens at its highest. If you breathe in a certain way, your cellular rejuvenation will be highest. I don't know if I should… This is a quackery, a little bit of quackery, but you know, so about 2 years ago, I happened to be in Germany. This is a qualified doctor who's turned into alternative systems, and a friend took me there and I just happened to go there, and there was a big storm, we couldn't get away from him. There was a snowstorm, so I had to stay with him for the night. And he said he wants to check my cellular age. I walked into his laboratory, all kinds of weird machines and computers and stuff, stacked up computers. I said, I don't want anything checked, I'm fine. But he said, no, we have to check you. And he checked, I don't know what it is, he took my blood samples, he had this, that and everything, and he put me on all kinds of machines and he said, my cellular age is 25. I said, well, I feel that way. I don't know about my cells, at least I feel that way. And now, for example, the basic practice we are teaching as a part of inner engineering, the Shambhavi Mahamudra. The University of California did a study, an extensive study on this, and they found those who are doing Shambhavi for more than 3 months, the neuronal regeneration in the brain is 241% higher than the average. It is the highest recorded ever, just because of a certain pattern of breathing. So breath is life, isn't it? If I take away your breath, you're finished. Something so vital. It is not just about breathing more oxygen, there's a lot more to it. There's a whole science attached to it. It's very unfortunate. These are things we have always known, but the yoga, even the yoga that you see in the country is rebound from the American coast. Lot of people believe Madonna invented yoga.
Let them believe that. Sadhguru, you just referred to other dimensions of awareness. We know our gross body a little bit, not a lot. And there are subtle bodies which probably we also carry. Do the subtle bodies, or whatever happens in those bodies, impact the health of the physical body as well?
In the yogic system, I'm saying in the yogic system, not in yoga. In yoga, there are more aspects to it. In the system that's been written down, we talk about 5 layers of body, 5 sheets of body. These are called Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. Anna means the food that you've eaten. The physical body that you carry is just a heap of food, what you've eaten, or it's a piece of this planet. It is taking on this kind of form because of a certain software which is already within you. You can call it genetics, you can call it karmic, you can call it so many things, but essentially it's information. A certain memory shapes this particular body in a particular way. Why eating the same potato, your nose became like this and somebody's nose became like that is simply because of the type of information that's embedded in that person. Fortunately, if you eat a potato, your nose will not take that shape. You know, it's a good thing. Because there's other information which is giving shape to these things. So physical body is essentially an accumulation of food. We never refer to the mind as mind. The yogic system has always looked at it as a mental body because there is intelligence in every cell of your body, there is memory in every cell of your body. It is a combination of memory and intelligence which you're referring to as my mind, isn't it? Is there one cell in your body which can function without its own intelligence? Is there one cell in your body which can function without memory? We know today, by checking the DNA of a person, it's absolutely unique, there isn't another one like that. So there is information, a very specific information concerned with that person. Now, this information can be altered, can be evolved, can be made use of. Information does not mean it is a deciding factor. Information means it is an enabling factor, isn't it? But because people have lost the ability to enable their information into a new possibility, it has become a deciding factor now. So whatever your genetics are, whatever your karmic information is, this is information. If you know how to use it, it has a phenomenal possibility. If you do not know how to use it, it becomes a static cycle, creating itself in a certain way. So this is your hardware, that is your software, but these two things cannot do anything by themselves unless you plug it into quality power. So the third layer of the body is Pranamaya Kosha. This is the energy body. These three are physical in nature. When I say physical in nature, it is very clear that this light bulb is physical. But the electricity behind it is also physical. The light that is emanating from it is also physical. It is getting subtle, but still physical. So these three are physical in nature. The physical body, the mental body and the energy body, all three are physical in nature. The fourth dimension is referred to as Vijnanamaya Kosha. I know the word Vijnan is being used very liberally today. Vijnan essentially comes from Vishesh Gyan. Vishesh means an extraordinary knowledge. Knowledge that you can grasp through 5 senses is considered ordinary knowledge. That which you cannot grasp through the 5 senses, but has been grasped in some other way, is referred to as Vishesh Gyan, which together becomes Vijnan. So this is Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is a transitory body. Between the physical and the non-physical, it is a body of transition. The fifth one is a completely non-physical dimension. This we call as Anandamaya Kosha, which means bliss body. This does not mean a bubble of bliss is sitting inside of you, you know it is not. It is just that it is non-physical in nature. That which is not physical in nature, you can neither define nor describe the nature of what it is, because it's not physical. So we talk about it in terms of our experience. Whenever we touch it, we become blissful. So we are calling it bliss body. It's like if somebody is sweet to you, you call them honey. This doesn't mean they're dripping. Like that, we are calling this
non-physical dimension within us as bliss body, that is not the nature of it, but that is our experience of it. Whenever we touch it, we become blissful, so we are calling it bliss body. The first three are physical. If you bring sufficient balance into your pranamaya kosha or the energy body and keep it in full vibrance, your physical body and psychological body or the mental body, there can be no ill health in it. I can show you hundreds and thousands of people who walked away from their chronic ailments simply by bringing a certain balance to their inner system. Because you need to understand this, there are two kinds of ailments. One is infectious in nature. Infection means it's an invasion from another organism. That has to be battled, shot down, bombed, chemical weapons, whatever, it's all allowed. But over 70% of the ailments that people suffer from are chronic in nature. Chronic ailment means, for some reason, your own body is generating an ailment. For some reason, your body is not happy with you, so bothering you. From inside, an ailment is coming. Every cell in the body is programmed for health, but it is creating disease. This means there is a certain fundamental imbalance. If you bring your energy body to full vibrance and proper balance, you will see your physical body and your mental structure will be perfectly healthy. I can show this to you in terms of hundreds and thousands of people who walked out of their ailments. This is not a cure, this is not a miracle, this is just a realignment of your system. Little, if you set it on a better platform, it functions better. I believe in God, one level of ignorance. I believe there is no God, another level of ignorance. Mahashivratri is not a religious festival. It has something to do with the astronomical phase of this planet. And we have figured out what phases of the planet are most advantageous to us.
Millennials, they do not believe in…
Which millennial? Which millennia do you belong to? I am not a millennial. Everybody is going on taking newer and newer identities, that's what I'm saying.
So people my age, so they do not believe in God and religion. So how is Mahashivratri relevant to people our age? Millennials. I don't know any other words, so.
Well, I do not believe anything, not just God. I don't believe anything, including millennial. I don't believe anything. Whatever I see, I try to perceive. What I perceive, I know. What I don't perceive, I do not know. But belief, disbelief and all these different identities are crippling your ability to perceive. Because every identity is of memory, isn't it? So, the moment you identify with anything that is rooted in your memory, and all identities are rooted in your memory, you kind of crippled your perception. Now you cannot perceive. You will only juggle with permutations and combinations of the possibilities within your memory. This is how human perception is lost, because you made memory more significant than attention and intelligence in human life. So memory is not a bad thing, it is useful. But if you're always dipping your hands in memory, you're crippled.
We have set up a system where memory is misunderstood as intelligence. From this comes your religion, from this comes your scriptures, from this comes your many social norms, from this comes a whole lot of things that you're either, confused about or suffering. So your gender, your nationality, your race, your religion, everything is memory, isn't it? So they are selectively dropping one memory and sticking on to another one, that'll not make them any better. They will move from one variety of ignorance to another variety of ignorance. I believe in God, one level of ignorance. I believe there is no God, another level of ignorance. Let me not say another level, then you will think you're on a higher level of ignorance. No. Same thing. I believe there is God. This is ignorance. I believe there is no God. This is also equally ignorant. Because you have crippled your perception, you have to make some conclusion and remember that. That's all. So, don't go on like this. Mahashivratri is not a religious festival. It has something to do with the astronomical face of this planet. This planet is a part of a larger family that we call as the solar system. That is a part of a larger family that we call galaxies, cosmos, whatever, names are names, but essentially, there is nothing happening here in an unrelated way. So we understand that at certain times, in certain positions, the planet behaves in a certain way. And we have figured out what phases of the planet are most advantageous to us. In that context, Mahashivratri, because there are 12 to 13 Shivratris in a year, every month, the 14th day is called Shivaratri. Where there's a natural upsurge, we have identified a specific Shivaratri which comes in the month of February and March. Just when the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere, there's a significant impact on your body on that day. There's a natural upsurge of energies. So, when there is such an upsurge of energy, if you keep your body in a horizontal position, then it could impact the body in a negative way. It's important you keep it in a vertical posture because the natural movement of energy is in this direction. If you lie down like this, it won't be good, so you must stay up. How to keep you up? Some people go to the bar. Yeah, I'm telling you. Some people, whole night they're playing cards. Yes, these are all the different things they're doing. Some people go to late shows. That night, the show doesn't yet end with the night show. 3 shows in the night, that till morning, some movie is going on. So usually some devotional movie, something about Shiva. So, this is an opportunity, whichever millennium you were born in. It is an opportunity that the planet is supporting you, the system, the larger system is supporting you to move in an upward direction. Please make use of it. It doesn't matter you belong to 20th century, 21st century or the second or the third millennia. Doesn't matter because once again you know all this only by memory. Millennium is not an existential reality, it's a social reality, we made it up. Hello? It is very important. One must understand, spiritual process means you are moving from religion to responsibility. I think that's one thing that everybody could do with, particularly the millennials. They could do with some responsibility, for sure. Thank you.
Respected Guruji, I am a Buddhist and a Vipassana practitioner. I have a question which I have asked many Vipassana teachers and other gurus, but everybody said that no one can answer this. In one of your video you mentioned, and also it is said in Buddhism, that rebirth is due to our unfulfilled desire or karma. I accept this, but then a question arises. Let us suppose I took birth for millions of times because of my karma desire, but before my very first birth, there was no body, no mind, karma, desire, or nothing of me existed. Then why and how that very first birth came to existence?
Now, even I'm wondering about that about you. Well, no, you're a decent guy, I'm like this, what should I… Let's take that question further back. It's not just about your birth. Well, in the yogic culture, there are theories which are explained in the form of dialectical stories, how Shiva was like Shava. Shava means a corpse. He was inert, phenomenal energy but inert. Then energy or Shakti came and danced around him, upon him, then he woke up. Well, we are, picturizing it as a man and a woman, but that's not what we're talking about. Inert means nothing happening, no reverberation. No reverberation means no creation. Energy got introduced, reverberation started. From a simple basic reverberation, it got more and more complex. As reverberations became more complex, it became matter, matter became small molecules, they became planets, planets became many things, life happened, variety of things. You know the evolutionary theory from there on. Evolutionary theory only starts after life has started, or at the beginning probably. But if you go back, creation itself, we may not know the exact trajectory of how it happened, but we approximately know how it happened, even as per modern science. So in the modern scientific parlance, the same thing is said today that if you apply energy, not even into it, just around it. Suppose you create vacuum in a container and apply energy not into the vacuum, just around it, virtual protons and virtual neutrons will erupt. That means creation begins to happen. Proton, neutron just have to get together for an atom to happen. Once an atom has happened, creation has started. So similar things are said in modern science. I don't want to go into any theories, but obviously creation began somewhere. Somewhere means it may not be within the projections of human mind in terms of time, because it's not one, but in the yogic system, there have been estimates that there have been 84 creations till now, 83 creations till now, this is the 84th one. And up to 112 cycles of creation can happen. Beyond that, creation will be material-free, just pure energy creation. But we're talking in terms of maybe billions of years or trillions of years, I don't know. But those projections are made. Well, obviously it's just a theory. Nobody can prove or disprove anything about it. But it looks like a plausible theory because the markings of 83 creations are there in our system in various aspects of life around us. The markings of 83 and this being 84 are there for those who look very closely at it. So how did you, such a decent guy, happen? Well, so this question doesn't go that far as I took it just now. It's talking about if I did not have karmic substance, how did I happen? That's a question. Well, you don't need a spiritual answer. Charles Darwin himself has explained this. You were a single-celled creature, and then you became two-cell, then you became three-cell, then you became multi-cell. Now you become little more only. Decently better. A decent development from a single cell has happened. So, in the process from the single-celled animal, from an atom to a molecule, right now this is a wonderful time to ask this question because there is virus. A virus is not a full-fledged life. It has proteins and enzymes to make it a life, but it's not yet life. Only when it enters your cell, it has a life. But by itself, it has no life, just a certain combo of protein. So decent, what? Dushyanta?
Divan.
Oh. So you were also pre-life, became life, became more and more complex life. Complexity itself is karma. Karma is not necessarily, even now as you sit here, karma is not necessarily only what you do like this. The thoughts that pass in your mind are karma, emotions that pass in your mind right now are karma. Simply, a thought just passed in your mind. You looked at the person next to you, thought, why is he here? He should be on the roof with the monkeys. Just like that, sometimes thought like this come. Hello. So this karma just happened inadvertently, not caused by you, caused by the monkeys dancing on the roof. So because monkeys came there, you looked at this guy. At a certain angle, he looked a certain way to you. Maybe it's the lighting, maybe it's the way he sat, maybe something, and a thought came and went. Now you performed a karma. That somewhere you look at another human being and you think he's a monkey. Now this won't stop here, do you understand? Now you looked at him and thought you're a monkey. Tomorrow, we changed your department and you're in the monkey department. Oh my God, I have to work with this monkey today. It will continue. And if suppose the situations are placed like that, he is in charge of the department, you have to work under him. Do I have to be instructed by a monkey like this? It will grow. And this is how you became a racist. All right? Because initially it's just a passing thought. Then depending on situations, how they corner you here, there, slowly it multiplies. This is even happening to every other creature. So gradually, karmic substance builds up, becomes more and more complex. Well, clearly, evolutionary sciences are telling us the initial human beings were very simple, half-bent human beings, very small brain, they couldn't think much, they just survived like any other creature. Everybody knows that, right? So from there you built your karma. I don't know why nobody could answer this question for you, everybody knows this. Maybe they thought you are not worth answering. Because I am such a fool, I don't think anybody is not worth answering. Because I don't think any question is not worth answering, I'm taking all kinds of idiotic questions from all over the world. So right now, you're wasting your time very indecently. Because these are all questions of the vain. Because mainly your questioning is toward whoever those… I don't know who are those people that you ask questions. In some way you want to make a fool out of them. That's all you're interested in. You're not interested in knowing anything about yourself. You're not interested in having tools for your transformation or growth. You said you went for Vipassana. Vipassana means no questions. Simple instruction, just do it, do it, do it and do it. Because that is a process which demands perseverance as the greatest quality. Gautama taught Vipassana to large groups of people because there was no time to prepare them. He was every day moving from village to village, town to town, no time to bring understanding into those people. So no teaching, no question, just simple instruction. Get the instruction right, just do it, do it, do it. Slowly it will transform you. It's a bit laborious process, but a fantastic process that even if you have no clue what you're doing, if you just do it, slowly it will transform who you are. When I say transform you, every aspect of you, including your chemistry, gradually it will transform. It's a laborious process because in those times, you must understand, he was teaching 2,500 years ago. 2,500 years ago, the common wavelength of the society was not intellectual understanding. The common wavelength of the society which lived hard lives was perseverance. People could persevere. Today, to make them persevere, you have to talk to them for hours and hours and hours because they think they understand everything. Those days, people had no such problems. They knew that they don't understand. So you had to just you had to just instruct them and say, do it. And those were good times for the gurus. Because if you give an instruction and say, you must do it, you just do it. You know, my mother, some yogi in Nandi Hills, once we went to Nandi Hills and she showed me the cave where she was initiated. She gave… that yogi gave her some mantra, I don't know who he is anyway. And she never had a picture or she wouldn't even talk, utter his name. But every day she did something with eyes closed. Right through our life, we've been her life, 4 children, husband is her life. She married at the age of 17. And that's her life. But before that, she was initiated and this yogi told her, whatever happens with your life, you must do it every day. Every day she is doing something with her eyes closed. We say, what are you doing? Say, well, this yogi gave me a mantra, I just do it. We want to know what's the mantra. So we played all kinds of tricks on her, tried to compel her, emotionally, blackmail her. You tell us this mantra. Such a gentle and easy person to deal with, always she was. But not once, no matter what, either to her husband or to her children, she ever told the mantra because the yogi said, you don't share this with anybody. I mean to say, it was so easy to instruct them. If I tell you, keep this to yourself, you'll put it on the social media. So, because giving instruction was very effective and simple in the previous generations, especially 2,500 years ago, Gautama chose this path. No understanding, no teaching, obviously no questioning, just do it. Only to those who gathered around him, who traveled with him, who were in close association with him, to them he taught shunya because that needs understanding. Without bringing substantial understanding, that won't happen. So you went to Vipassana. That means you must just shut up and do it. Not ask this question, that question, because that question or the answer will not in any way add to your practice. The practice has been designed in such a way, irrespective of who you are, if you do it, it will work. It's just that it's a bit laborious. You have to do it for hours every day, for a long period of time. But it will work, it's a fantastic device for those times. Even now it is for a whole lot of people. So, don't waste your time. The decent thing for you to do is, if you're here, I don't know where you are. If you're here, take instructions and just do it. Otherwise, stick to the vipassana and do it, one way or the other. Take one forward step. Rather than standing in the same place and looking all over the place, it won't add to your life in any way. It's just that in foolishness you will think you're smart by gathering these things. Maybe now I have said what I have said, you will go and tell somebody else, you know what Sadhguru said, this is what it is, even he doesn't know. Or you will make it your answer and put it on the social media. Whatever you do, it's of no use. Existentially, if you want to move on, you must do something existential within you. You do psychological things and you think you will move on, you will not. You know what is my handicap? You want to know? Simply, being straight and honest is my big handicap. Yes, no deviousness, this is my handicap, what do you think? Tell me, Sadhguru, it's not a handicap. Hey, some of my advisors think this is a handicap, I'm too straight and blunt about too many things. But that's the way I will be. Don't like it?
Does soul exist?
Soul?
Yes.
Whose soul?
And one more, what is the purpose of life?
You're just asking very big questions without understanding the significance of the question. See, when you ask, does soul exist, you're not talking about an academic subject. You're asking, what is the nature of who I am? Or you're saying, I don't know a damn thing about myself, please tell me. Yes? Isn't it? You're asking this very easily because you have not been touched by the pain of ignorance, the pain of not knowing who you are. It has not torn you apart. If it really touches you that you're just living here, doing all kinds of nonsense without knowing the ABC of who you are, it should be very painful, isn't it? That pain has not yet touched you. You're mouthing questions, it's not sunk deep enough. So every day you must remind yourself, at least spend 10 minutes in the morning, just see what an utter idiot you are. You don't know anything about yourself, but you're busy with all kinds of nonsense in your life. Every day, just 10 minutes, remind yourself as intensely as possible your ignorance of yourself. Then slowly the pain will sink. When it becomes so painful that you can't bear it, knowing will not be far away, it's one moment. If I say, yes, you have a soul, but can you walk better? What use is the soul? Did they put any kind of utility to the soul? These two are useful. That other soul that they're talking about, is it of any use? It's of no use. So don't talk about it. And if I tell you it is there, what does it do to you? If I tell you, no, it doesn't exist, what does it do to you? Nothing, isn't it? Only thing is, the next dinner party that you go, you can entertain people around you talking about the soul. But as far as your existence is concerned, nothing changes, isn't it so? Yes. Nothing at all will change, isn't it? So if you're asking the question, fundamentally you're asking the question, what am I? Who am I? When you are here, are you alive? You're alive. When you're here alive, what is the way to know who you are? Is it not really ridiculous and insane that you must ask me, please tell me who am I? This is like two psychiatrists were walking on the Kovalam beach one day. One of them looked at the other up and down and said, "You seem okay. How am I?" This is just like that, isn't it? You're sitting here, you're alive, you're existing, and you're asking me, who am I, what am I? Is it not ridiculous? Very ridiculous, isn't it? Only thing is, the majority is with you. That's the only comfort which has not allowed you to know the pain of ignorance. You have a huge majority of people around you who are all saying, yes, this is the way to be. Yes? That is the only thing which has given you some comfort. Suppose you are the only man on the planet who does not know who you are, everybody else knows. You know how it would be for you? Yes? You don't know who you are, you're busy in the world. Does it make any sense? Or does it sound like madness? Insanity, isn't it? But the comfort is, you're in a huge asylum where everybody's like you. Your problem is, your existence itself right now is only in comparison with something else. You have no existence of yourself, please see. Right now, if you don't have something that everybody has nose. Suppose you did not have a nose. Actually, you can breathe better, you know. If you take off your nose, you will get 22% extra oxygen. You will be more healthy, everything will be better. But you know how you will suffer? Because everybody else has a nose. Yes or no? Or if you get something extra that other people don't have, you still suffer, isn't it? Suppose you grew one horn. You know how terrible it would be? But if everybody had a horn, then we would be polishing it and decorating around, you know. Your very existence is in comparison. There is no existence of yourself. Everything is in comparison. So, with that comfort, you're passing off without knowing the pain of not knowing. If you know the pain of not knowing who you are, then if you just see that I don't know anything about myself, tears will come. If it starts tearing you apart, knowing is not far away. It's very simple. It's very, very simple because after all you want to know what is within you, isn't it? Can what is within you be denied to you by anybody or anything? Do you need a passport to go within? Do you need a visa? To turn inward and know what's within, do you need somebody's permission? Or can somebody stop you? Can any authority in the world stop you? No. So who is stopping you? Who could be stopping you? Only yourself. Nobody else but yourself. Nobody else is capable of stopping you, isn't it? So why are you stopping yourself? Simply because you made your whole existence outside of yourself. Your very existence is only in comparison with somebody. Because this has happened to you simply because the very nature of sense organs is like this. Because your experience of life is limited to sense perception, that is the reason why you're existing in comparison with somebody, not by yourself. Because sense organs are like this. If I touch this, this feels cool to me. This feels cool to me not because of the way the steel rod is, simply because of the way my body temperature is. If I lower my body temperature and touch this would be warm to me. Is it so? If I lower my body temperature to -100 and touch this would be red hot to me. Is it so? So your very basic experience of life, because it is limited to sense perception, everything is in comparison. So your very existence has become in comparison. If this has to change, philosophies and teachings are not going to change this fundamental reality. If your experience of life transcends the limitations of sense perception, suddenly everything is different. When we initiated you into Shambhavi, if you gave yourself to the process, it could easily take you beyond sense perception. Many of you going into moments where you're no more within your sense perception, something else is beginning to happen. Anything new happens, your mind is such, it knows only fear. Even if you walk into heaven, you will know only fear because it's something that you do not know. You have conditioned yourself like this. But if you allow it to happen, you will see, you will start experiencing a dimension which is beyond sense perception. Only when your experience of life moves beyond sense perception, then your experience of life is absolute, not in comparison with something else. Then your experience of life has transcended the limitations of the physical. Then you have created an atmosphere to know who the hell you are. You better know who the hell you are. Otherwise, anything that you do is of no consequence.
Each of these videos is a construction, and whoever reaches the end is helping to sustain this work. If this content resonated with you, leave a comment, share it, subscribe, and of course, give it a like. Also, take a look at the links in the description. There are more paths for you to explore. Thanks a lot, big hug, and see you in the next video.